What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we are back with the Girl Gone London channel. Y'all make sure y'all go check out her content. I'll leave this video description or video link in the description. I had never seen these things before moving to the UK from the USA. Before we jump into these never before seen things, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. And if you like to support the channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit that join button to receive your exclusive benefits. Let's dive right in.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Girl Gone London channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin. I'm a dual UK and American citizen, and today I am telling you the British things that I had never seen in my life before moving to the UK. Okay, so the idea for this video came about because I was talking to a group of Americans who are visiting the UK for the first time, and they mentioned something on my list that made me realize that it's so common for me now, but I had never seen one of these before moving to the UK, so I thought I'd make a list and do a whole video. So let's jump right into what that thing was. So the first thing on my list is a heated towel rail. So these are super common in the UK. They look like this if you are from another country that doesn't use them. And essentially it is where you hang your towels, but they are heated. So in the depths of summer when it's a hot day, the heating to this typically won't come on because it is usually attached to the heating in your house.
Okay.
But in the winter months, it typically will come on with your heating, so it essentially dries out your towels. This is one of the most genius inventions that I definitely would have to install in my American house if I ever moved back, because it is so nice to have like really warm towels, whether you take your shower in the morning or at night, to not have it be like damp and mildewy because it didn't dry off because it, rained a lot or is humid in the house. Having this heated towel rail is a godsend, except for when you don't realize that it is a heated towel rail and you put your hand on it like I did the very first time because I didn't realize that there was heat involved, basically scorched my hand. So don't touch them or lean on them, but definitely if you're visiting the UK, take advantage of the heated towel rail. The next thing
I definitely would. That to me is an absolutely genius invention. To me, I'm just thinking stepping out of a bath in the winter time and then putting that warm towel on your body. Because to me, there's nothing better than a fresh towel out the dryer because that warmth just snuggles around your body and it just feels heavenly. So just a towel rack where in the wintertime I can feel that heavenliness every single shower. That's a dream. That's an absolutely genius invention. And I hate that the US don't have those.
On my list that I hadn't seen in the US, and this is due to my location as well. So I grew up in the suburbs of Florida and I had never seen a mail slot in a door. Or letterbox, as they would call it in the UK. This is something that does happen in other parts of the US, but not in the suburbs of Florida. Everyone has a mailbox in the suburbs that looks like this, and it is at the end of your driveway, so we don't have anything coming directly into our house as far as the mail goes. So it's very common. I would say the majority of people in the UK have a letterbox, so it's in your front door and the mail goes right through it. Okay, the next thing on my list
I guess that would make the things more convenient in getting the mail, a letterbox, but letterbox, mailbox, not too big of a difference to me. I wouldn't care either way.
I had never seen before moving to the UK was a proper roundabout. Now, there are some roundabouts in the US.
Yes.
In Florida, the most roundabout I had ever seen was like a really tiny one in a parking lot, which was basically to try and direct traffic. Didn't really work because we didn't know what to do with it, so people just kind of drove wherever they wanted to through it. But a roundabout like this, I had never seen in real life before moving to the UK, had never used one. They are an experience to drive on, they are an experience to be driven on, and they were something that was very foreign to me coming from the US, where we mostly have straight roads with four-way stops as opposed to roundabouts. Now let me take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Busu.
I feel like that's definitely something I would need some help with, that roundabout. That, my brain got so confused looking at it. I know to you guys they're as easy as pie and much better when it comes to traffic and everything than a four-way intersection. But it confused me so much. So freaking much. I am gonna skip the sponsor and we'll try to get right to the next point. I think it'll be about right there.
If you're interested in upping your language skills, check the link below. Now back to the video. The next thing on my list that I had never seen or tasted was a Yorkshire pudding. A Yorkshire pudding looks like this, and we do not have them in the US. It's not something that we would make. It's not something that most people have heard of, unless maybe you have some sort of like close British ties. And I had no idea how to eat it, what it was, what it might taste like when I first moved to the UK. Now it's one of my favorite things to eat with gravy or even plain. And this just made my list as something that I had never ever seen before moving to the UK. Now the next thing on my list
I've got to try Yorkshire pudding. That is absolutely a must try on my list. They look so freaking good. I just imagine gravy. Oh my god. That's an experience right there, I'm sure.
Is a three-prong plug. A UK plug, everybody. So had never seen this because obviously in the US we have US plugs, which I'm trying to pull mine now, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
Ooh, there goes all of my electronics. Basically, it looks like this. It's two-pronged. And so that was what I knew of as a plug. Moving to the UK, I was like, what the heck is this? There are lots of videos about how superior the UK plug is to almost any other plug in the world. They hurt a lot to step on. Not gonna lie. But they do tend to stay in the wall a lot better, which is what I like about them. So yeah. Three-pronged plug. Had never laid my eyes on one until I moved to the UK.
That's wild to me because I'm looking for some that I can unplug because we have three-prong plugs over here. Now they're not as common as the two-prong. In general, for the most part, most of your plugs are going to be two-prong. But we do have. But for her to like never have seen a three-prong pronged plug at all is a little shocking because like there are some things here that we have three-prong. God, that word's gonna mess me up. That have three prongs when you plug it into the wall. So I've seen three prongs before, multiple times, but not shaped like that. So they're different shapes.
Thing on my list is, well, I had one thing, but I'll add a bonus one. So I was gonna say a flake, a Cadbury flake, looks like this. Had never seen this, had never heard of it. Basically, it is milk chocolate in kind of like a funny, flaky texture. And it's great. And you usually have it with ice cream. Or just plain, whatever you want. So I'd never seen those. Never heard of them, never seen them in person. And the other thing that I just thought of was a Freddo. Freddos are very common in the UK. They look like this. Milk chocolate in the shape of a frog. People typically use them to measure things like inflation or how expensive things are getting and how much the Freddo is shrinking. But it's basically delicious milk chocolate in the shape of a frog. Had never heard of it, had never seen a Freddo before moving to the UK. Now the next thing on my list is spray deodorant. Yes, I had never...
So I had seen, the flaky chocolate, the flake or the Freddo. But I've tasted UK chocolate and oh my God, is it heavenly. But I haven't seen that.
Seen spray deodorant
really
ever in my entire life. It's not common in the US to use spray deodorant.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
Also not common to use roll-on deodorant that looks like this. We typically use stick deodorant, which can be actually difficult to find in the UK. In my local grocery store, I couldn't find it. Sometimes there will be one option, but it's very expensive and very small. But back to my original point of spray deodorant, not really a thing where I'm from in the US. Not really an option you see at the grocery store or the supermarket. So, spray deodorant was something new for me that I had never seen before.
How
And the
long ago was this video? Hold up, let me look. 2 years ago, so that could have been anywhere from 2 years to 2 years and 11 months. But I know, like, I've been buying spray deodorant for the past, yeah, I want to say like 5 or 6 years of my life. Um, yeah, I don't. Florida, I get Florida might be a lot different than Texas. They might have a lot different products, I guess, on the shelves, but yeah, every like Walmart or grocery store, like super center or anything like spray deodorant is a pretty big thing here. Like it's, I mean, I think stick deodorant is used more by in general. More people are going to use stick deodorant, but like I've used spray deodorant for like the past 6 years. Absolutely love spray deodorant. So much better than stick deodorant to me. A little more expensive, but a lot better.
The last thing on my list, saving the best for last, and by best I mean the one that most British people watching are going to be absolutely horrified by. I had never seen an electric kettle. That's
I
right,
feel that.
people.
Yeah.
I had never seen an electric kettle. I had seen a kettle that you put on the stove to boil water, but an electric kettle, which I would say is most British homes' prized possession. Like if there was going to be a fire or a natural disaster and you were like, what should I grab? It would be like the family and the kettle.
The
Because
family
if
and
you
the
have a
kettle.
kettle, then you can have tea and then everything is fine. And yeah, so an electric kettle, so common in the UK. If you don't have one, it's weird. In the US, not so much. We have coffee makers. Most people won't even have any sort of kettle. My mom just had one because she did like tea, but again, it was not an electric one until she was introduced to the electric kettles once I moved here, and then she got one. Had never laid eyes on one. I'm gonna be open here and say I didn't even know how to use it. I know it's very easy, you just press the little button, but I'd never seen this contraption before in my life. So that rounds out my list of things I had never seen before moving to the UK. And I would love for you to comment below and tell me something that you saw in another country, an object or a food that you had never either heard of or had seen before going to that country. Now that brings me to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Unfortunately, I have not had the amazing opportunity to travel abroad to any country, so I can't answer that. But the electric kettle, yeah, I hadn't seen an electric kettle until I started reacting to UK content. Like that was the first time. And yeah, I've seen it's very common in the UK, but it's just not common here. Like people have them, some people, but it's not a common thing, and nobody I know. But that's all we have for this video. Y'all let me know if you enjoyed it by subscribing, by giving the video a thumbs up, and also by checking out the next video. I'll see you guys next time.